Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Please feel free to unmute. All right, well, thank you for joining us today. We are going to start this off with Rich from Charleston. His club is doing an amazing job with their social media, particularly with Facebook. So I do feel that is the club to look towards if you wanting to improve your social media presence, especially with Facebook, or want to get started. It's a great example of what we should be doing throughout the district. Rich, do you want to go ahead and take it away?
Okay, give me, sure I got the right one. Okay, there we go. And okay, so no one is seeing my notes to the side. Okay, that's good. I got it right this time. Okay, so we can move beyond that. Okay, so what we have here is that we have the front page, really in the banner for our Facebook page. And right now, I'd like to give a shout out to when Rotary International had that had the Brand Central initiative, because they came up with a number of different banners and kind of part of their general messaging and very, very effective messaging. And encourage clubs to put these on their websites, on our Facebook pages. And our club president at the time brought it to my attention. And so we went ahead and did it. The unfortunate part is that it seems like they really haven't really kept up with it. They only came up with a limited number of choices, but I'm hoping at some point that they can kind of get back to this, because they really do a great job of getting out the word, what Rotary is all about. The next, what I would like to do now is just go through and point to some examples of how I think we've used our Facebook page in a way that's worked for us and getting the message out. We have a good PR committee led by Bill Lair, who is a retired newspaper editor for the Journal Gazette Times Courier. That's the JGTC. And he does a very good job of writing up stories, because he already has decades of experience in doing that, and then getting them to the local newspaper. And then eventually, maybe a month or so later, and the local newspaper publishes them. And so then what we do is we link directly into them, and we have maybe a brief paragraph or so as sort of a teaser to get people interested in and encourage them to go and check out the article. And so it ends up being mutually beneficial. It helps us. Also, it helps the Journal Gazette Times Courier, because maybe it gets some more readership going for them. For major club fundraiser projects, and I've just identified a few here, but the last one I'll highlight, the flag display subscriptions. This is an initiative we have right now to for people to $50 to get a subscription to a flag that is installed on their property, at their residence or business 5 times a year for the patriotic holidays like 4th of July. And so we're using Facebook as one of the tools that we have for getting the word out on it. And we'll see how it works, but again, it's just one more way. And the opportunity here particularly is for people who share it. Collection of photos from social events. We just had our first Fifth Tuesday social in about, I don't know, way over a year, and everyone knows why. But it was really great because we had galleries of photos. We probably got about 2 or 3 different posts out of that. And that's one thing people really like to see people just interacting with each other in sort of a natural way. The next one is recognizing student achievements and awards. We have each year we have a program that recognizes the top 10 graduating seniors. It's Jefferson School is a 4th through 6th grades elementary school, and they have a scholarship program that we coordinate. We have our own Rotary scholarship, and it's just a great opportunity to put the photos in and the names of the kids who and the young people who get the awards. And then the plus here is that invariably some of the family members or parents, the Facebook posts are going to land in their feeds, and then they're going to share them. So it helps get the word out on the great achievements of the students. At the same time, it helps promote our support for student leadership and student achievement. And speaking of students, Internet Club projects, a couple here. The Mustache Month one was this past March, basically asking the male teachers to grow big mustaches, and whoever got the most votes ends up, I guess, maybe having to have their mustache for another month. But anyway, the proceeds went to a family who was dealing with some difficult medical issues. Highlighting impacts of major projects and grants. It's really great whenever we get to the implementation stage. Photos, students using their iPads, photos, a photo gallery of students involved in the Leader Me classes, getting out the word on community service projects like the Heart Scan project, our environmental projects like the 6th Street Trailhead, Flower Corners. You put photos in of people planting flowers. It's always really popular and gets lots of likes on it. And the last set of examples highlight key developments from your club's history. One of our club members, actually Bill Lair, went in and did some history, initially interested in our history of donations and fundraising in the club for various causes, starting off with polio. And he went in and did research all the way back to the 30s and 40s. And so we were able to get about 3 different posts out of that. And it's really educational for everyone. And it really helps to kind of establish the legacy of a club. Sometimes if you're in need of something to post, maybe there's a little bit of a dead period in terms of existing photos and activity in the club. You can always go to the Rotary International website. You can readily link to their articles. We, for example, did one on ending wild polio. We did another one on an international peace and development project initiative on the African continent, highlighting major community developments. When the city is recognized or your area is recognized for something, like for example, when Charleston was named Butterfly Capital of Illinois, we linked into that. And again, it helps to further connect the club to what's happening in the broader community. And last but not least, and again, these examples are not exhaustive by any means, a way of getting out the word on your new officers, your new board members, definitely new club inductions. We've done photos and kind of profile information on new club members. A couple of times we've had videos to link in. And the last one is sort of a sad example of what we know happens. Club members and former club members who have passed. It's a great opportunity to kind of recognize them and acknowledge their role in the community and the club. What has worked for us? Briefly here, having more than one Facebook page administrator is a requirement, pretty much. We have 3 right now. We've gone as high as 4. It definitely helps because if someone maybe slips a little bit or gets extra busy or misses something, there's always someone who's going to come in and add a post. Dedicated, highly skilled club photographer. Now, we're blessed in that sense. There aren't too many Bill Wormuths around. And we know from being at previous Rotary events in person that Bill would be roaming the halls with his camera. And we've missed that as far as this past year, but he's getting back in action now. It also helps to have an experienced retired newspaper editor in the club, and not every club is going to have that. Striving for a degree of freshness. It's important to be posting, having something going at a minimum 2 or 3 times a month. Ideally, if you could be doing it at least once a week. You don't have to be doing it on a daily basis because you're probably going to overload people at that point. One plus is that it brings us to the attention potential speakers. Occasionally we get people who Facebook message us with an opportunity. Sometimes you get people, maybe you probably would rather not have Facebook message you. Maybe they're trying to sell something. And the last one, and this is not last but not least, but this is really important. We've been lucky, and this is something that you need to be aware of. We haven't had any trolls. We haven't had any politics involved. We haven't had any questionable comments, profane comments. We hope that continues. Now, challenges and issues. Pandemic has been pretty tough for our Facebook page. You can only post so many Zoom meeting screenshots. People don't want to see too many of those. And we've been missing all the live photos from our club meetings and our program presenters. But again, we're moving back into action, and we're going to start with real in-person meetings in a couple of weeks. Club members who are not on Facebook, we know that there's any number of members in any club that's going to not be on Facebook. They just don't want to do it, or they're not inclined in that direction. And then for the ones who are on Facebook, liking the site, but not necessarily sharing. And I know that's an issue right now for our club because our president, Jonathan McKenzie, is trying to get the word out that for our flag fundraiser project, it's not just a matter of liking it, but get the word out there. And to the extent that you get the word out there, that really helps the cause. The next one, the boosting dilemma. And I'll be just clear about that with boosting, so everyone's on the same page here, is that boosting is you can go in and you can set up parameters with Facebook, the corporation, to help send that particular post out more widely. And I feel, and it costs money. And again, it's not going to break the bank because you can come up with the relatively constrained parameters that might get it out to an extra few hundred or so people for maybe $10, $15, $20, depending on how you set it up. But again, the dilemma is really more of a personal one I have also, because Facebook's able to do that because they have all this information that violates our privacy. So I feel mixed about it. But for fundraiser projects and for ones where you want to get people to attend, like a pancake breakfast, et cetera, it can be very helpful. And finally, ideally, for our particular Facebook page, we need to take the next step of expanding beyond Facebook to other social media. And that's a whole different subject and related subject. So I will stop to share because Elizabeth will tell us about that.
Thank you for that, Rich. Before I continue. Ooh. Is that me? Sorry. I have something playing in the background. Before I continue, does anyone have any questions for Rich? Because now's the chance.
Rick, that's a lot of work to create that digital presence. What is the size of your club?
Our club we've been going at around 50 to 55 the last few years.
Okay.
It is a lot of work, particularly because you also want to have it sort of, I want to have some parallelism with the website too. And because it's a lot of work, that's why we really haven't taken the step of kind of linking it in to more contemporary, younger audience social media that Elizabeth is going to talk about. Because it would really be good if we had a couple younger people, not to sound ageist here, to help us out, maybe people in their 20s and 30s. But on the other hand, those those younger people are busy with their families and their work. So that's the other side of it.
Thank you for that, Rashawn. Any other questions? Rashawn, what club are you from?
Sunset Rotary Club of Bloomington Normal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys do have a Facebook page.
Yes.
Inactive. I'm just kidding. Maybe.
No, that you are correct.
I mean, people are busy, right? So I'm going to go through mine real quickly. It might be overwhelming because of the time, but the deck will be sent to you afterwards, okay? Here we go. Okay, so which social media platforms should my club use? So I'm just going to go over 5 social media platforms. Twitter. This is the one that people are afraid to touch. Twitter is great for building awareness. Basically, it's text messaging for the whole world to see. It's very short, and it's for people who want information very quickly in real time. And I'm just going to move my toolbar real quick, sorry. And this is targeted towards ages 35 to 49, but the majority of users are males, 45 and older. 69 million people in the US use Twitter, 61% being males. And here is an example of Rotary International's Twitter account. And here is the link if you guys want to go and check it out. Snapchat. Snapchat is great at building awareness and creating a community. It's essentially advertised as a camera platform, as a camera app. So, and it's meant for once something is sent, which is called snaps, that it disappears right after viewing it. And this is very popular between ages 13 to 24. And you could create short videos or imagery with filters, with their lenses. They have a bunch of special effects that you could do with it. And then we have here 90%. So 90% of Snapchat users are between the ages of 13 to 24. So this is something if you're targeting the youth. And right now in the US, we have 108 million users, 55 being female. That is, so I could not find a Rotary account on Snapchat. So I'm using my son's as an example, just so you have a feel of how it looks. This is his, I want to call it home screen when he logs on. Here's stories that you could post. Here is when they send personal snaps to everyone. And then here is, we found a Rotary lens of him wearing a cap. Isn't he cute?
They now have a one where you can post it kind of like Instagram, and it goes out to the community, kind of like TikTok.
Yes,
No.
like right here, right? Like in their subscriptions or like the discovery type.
Yeah, but it's something new that they just started.
Oh, nice. You're gonna have to tell us more about that later. Next is TikTok. TikTok is great, fostering community, targeted towards ages 12 to 24. TikTok is very short, 15-second videos. Main purpose is for entertaining, particularly to a song. And it has no relevance to your brand or to your club whatsoever. So that's the whole point of TikTok. 732 million people in the US use TikTok, 50% being women, 49 being males. So, I mean, females and males. So it's pretty close with the male and female ratio. And I'm going to show you a quick video of a TikTok. Can you guys see that? It's not letting me do it. Stop share.
We can. Oh, there it is.
All right. Are you guys able to hear that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Instagram. Instagram is great. Building awareness, fostering community, targeted towards ages 13 to 54, a very broad range here. Instagram, all about visual, imagery, and you can also do short, or not short videos, but you can also do videos as well. Majority of people are between 18 and 29 that use Instagram. Why you should use it? 140 million people in the US use Instagram, 56% being female. Bloomington Rotary Club has actually a great Instagram. And here's the link if you guys want to follow it. And here they have one of their service projects that they did, which was, I believe this is every student in 87 received a dictionary. I think it was ages grades K through 4th grade. I don't remember. But here we go. Here's their image, their caption, hashtags. They're all in it. They're good. Facebook. We don't really need to talk about Facebook, but just some stats. Targeted towards ages 25 plus. It's the largest social media out there. In Illinois alone, there's 12.6 people in our state. 6.9%, 6.9 million use Facebook. In the world, 7.8 billion, 2.8 billion use Facebook. So regardless if you want to do Facebook or not, you need it. Everyone's on it. 190 million people on a daily basis use Facebook, 55% being female, 44 being male. And then here we have Charleston. And here, this is a great example when he was talking about the history, because that's a recent post that they put from Rotary International. And that's it. And then I will send you guys this deck, and it also includes how to, if anyone is interested in wanting to expand their social media within their club. And I have how-to videos. Let me lower that. It came back on. If anyone's interested in any of that. So the deck will be sent out at the end. Does anyone have any questions for Rich, particularly? Come on, who's gonna try that TikTok?
Huh. I did one. It wasn't the best.
You
but
did. I saw it. I did see it.
I'm still learning.
So I'm sorry. So I'm part of the family club. I didn't introduce myself, and we will be giving it to our kids to handle. So our kids will be handling our Snapchat and not our Instagram, but our Snapchat and our TikTok. Not Twitter. I'm still kind of weary about Twitter. I don't know why, but those two, we're gonna have our kids do their thing, and hopefully it's appropriate and all that stuff.
By kids, you're talking about Interact or?
So they are no. I mean, so we're a family club, so our kids are at our meetings and at our service project.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
So they're from the ages of, I think the youngest is 3 and the oldest is 15.
Wow.
Of our kids. So we'll have them just handle that for us.
The Snapchat is called Spotlight.
Oh, thanks for that.
And you make money. I think they are giving away money for the most viewed ones daily or something. So
well, that's great. Thanks, Bree, for that.
You're welcome.
Rich, how often do you post on Facebook? Is it weekly or?
We try to do weekly. There have been some times where maybe I slipped a little bit, but I think that's the ideal situation. Is to, I think for a club, if you're doing it like 4 times a month, I think you're doing fine.
Do you do it like the day before your meeting or after your meeting, or do you have a certain time related to your meeting that you do it?
Generally, we've done it after meetings, kind of drawing, depending on when things land in the newspaper, depending on when the photos that Bill Warmoth sends us land. And they typically will land maybe within the next day. So that tends to happen. Occasionally, we have done like a feature, kind of a lead that we have a major speaker coming up, come to this meeting, but we probably should be doing more of that.